Yeah. Okay, ready to go? Audio good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is good. Okay, recording in 3, 2, 1, action.
Exeshafere, welcome to another episode of YDS. You don't say Ausachos Bali.
Yo.
You don't have the mic, so you can.
Yo.
Okay, sure. Fede. My name is Tapelu, my Taps at Taps Yellow. And if you're tuning in for the first time, this is a platform where we come on as Amajita to have general conversations that affect us from day to day. And as always, I'm not alone. I'm with my ever so humble and gracious host.
Yo. Ever so humble and grateful host. All right. Sure. Okay, sorry guys. Let me just do this.
You told her wrong episode.
I don't know. It's fine.
Don't ask him that.
So as you can see, we're sharing a mic because of three brothers, gentle brothers here. By the way, my name is Mpho Mudau, aka Siso Styles. This is episode 7, right?
Yeah.
Of season 2
Yeah.
of You Don't Say.
And we're back.
And we're back.
It's been a minute. And on today's episode, you don't even introduce the topic, but boys. Hey, yeah, it's our feast again. So, in recent news, not news per se, but as you guys have picked up, Ogoti, on social media, there's been a rise of dad and kid content that has been going viral, that has triggered and sparked some conversations there, Ogoti. Vele, do we praise these niggas? Am I allowed to say nigga?
It's your show, dog.
Okay. Do we praise these niggas or are they doing their job? What's what? And on today's show, we actually have 3 guys. We have creative business directors. We have facilitators of male dialogues. We have architectures. You know, I'm not going to name them. They will introduce themselves. But most importantly, they share a very common thing that's very important to many of us, which is fatherhood. And you'll hear for themselves. Gents, please introduce yourselves, man.
We start in this side.
Whichever.
Tebogo Mogola, a father first, a creative in the media game industry.
Hola guys, Lesley Nkosi. I'm a dad, daddy, and a husband, and I'm a father to a nation actually. And the other stuff follows.
The name is Mpho. I'm Ropiwa's dad. I just say Lokshini, so
Yeah.
that's that.
Easy, just.
So humble the architect is.
Is that this guy?
He's still adjusting to the microphone. He's like, what's this? Ropi was father.
Ropi was father. Oh, sorry, Jen. Yeah, Ropi was father. Yeah.
Nah, that's dope. Listen, guys, relax. I know it's Buddha messed it up kancane there, but I don't know why is he blushing. But yeah, you know, we're gonna have this conversation. We thought you guys would be actually good for this conversation because we believe that you guys are doing a good job in your kids' lives. But we are well aware that you guys are actually ambitious in your own roles, respective roles. So we want to find out, what do you guys think about this social media-led conversation? I know Dales says he's hardly ever on social media, but I'll brief you.
Okay.
I'll brief you, Dales. So what's been
that.
happening is that fathers will be taking videos and pictures with their kids. Some of these videos are very organic. I'll touch on one that really trended on a global scale. There was this other homie, I don't know his name. But Buddha would know his name.
We'll probably show the footage.
Yeah, we'll show the footage there. So homie was actually chilling there with a kid and they were actually having a conversation. The kid is talking gibberish, you know, but they seem to be like in it, you know, as if it's a real conversation. And that really sparked up some conversation. People were really engaged by that, like, oh my goodness. He even locked in a campaign with that. So we've been seeing similar things, similar trend where actually fathers are spending a lot of time with their kids at a very early age. I think here in South Africa we saw a video where there's one homie was being pushed by a toddler while feeding him. So he had to push for him to put in. Did you see that one?
You know,
they don't share on WhatsApp, ne?
Yeah,
because you're on WhatsApp.
So, yeah. I even saw that one on WhatsApp as well.
You even saw that one on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are really loving this kind of content. It's been going viral. People are getting gigs. There's Valdo with the dancer guy who was part of DJ Cleo's group, and they're creating content. So they've built a whole social media platform around these things. So we call them dadfluencers.
Okay.
Dadfluencers.
That's cool.
That's dope.
So
dope.
they're social media influencers influencing various types of brands and whatnot. But these guys are sort of like trying to advocate for healthy relationships between fathers and their kids at a very early age, you know. So now, as I've mentioned earlier, I said this has received like backlash as well as positive feedback on the basis of some people say, no, they're actually doing their jobs. So why should we actually give them a round of applause, or why should we praise them, you know? And some people would say, well, it has never been like this, so we need to give props where it's due. What are your views on that? Is it a behavior that we need to praise, or should we just say, yo, stick to your responsibilities, guys, we're not gonna give you a pat on the back?
Geez, I guess I'm gonna go first. I mean, for me, the way I'm looking at it, and before you even touch on that, it's kind of like the conversations that I'm having, one being about charity. You know what I mean? We'll touch on the dad thing, but it's more or less in the same WhatsApp group. It's kind of like when you're giving now, and let's say maybe you find a dude on the side of the road, you're giving him money like you would have given any type of day, and because maybe you are fortunate to do that. But difference this time around is that I'm buying that guy food and giving him money and putting it on social media. You know what I mean? What is the end game for me? You know what I'm saying? And I would have done it. It wouldn't have been online or whatever the story may be. But I'm doing it in a sense that I'm trying to plant a seed for the next person. And I know personally that I'm trying to plant a seed for the next person to do it, so that charity is not you need to be coming with like 10 stacks to be like it's charity. Charity is $20. It's doing stuff for someone that can't do it. Do you know what I mean? And funny enough, you will get backlash for stuff like that. To be like, why are you posting it? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But it's like, I'm like, so those are the same people that are actually probably not even doing anything themselves. You know what I mean? You're always going to get ostracized for stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then you bring it back to who we are as society. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a formula. You know, we can sit around at clubs, pubs, whatever, drink, soccer games and whatnot, and we'll talk soccer. You know, some of us are not even coaches or whatever, but we'll talk about what formations need to be used and what we could be doing and whatnot. But we don't spend that much time talking about fatherhood. You know what I mean? Because half of us come from, I was raised by my mother. I was raised by my grandparents. I was raised by this. You know what I'm saying? And there is no formula to this thing. You know what I mean? The bigger thing for me is, are you doing the right thing? You know, and you're doing the right thing, and again, you're looking at it and it's based off what reference? Are you doing the right thing based off you looking at other people that come from cool families that have it together? Or are you doing the right thing based off, I'm able to do the right thing for this kid? Whether you're taking them to that preschool that's not as big as the Montessori's or whatever, you're doing it according to your pocket, budget, whatever the story may be. You know what I mean? So for me, when I look at it, I don't think there's a formula to it. And if you putting it and saying this is like Dadfluencers, same as what the influencer thing is, they're trying to push product, they're trying to get you to be aware of certain things. It's gonna come with this backlash, but I think if it's meant to do positive stuff, you know what I mean? Because I'll have my kid for the holidays. I'm busy cracking my head on what are we getting up to. Is it a mall? Is it a movie? Is it video games? Is it what? And if dudes are posting their bounce, they're doing whatever, I'm getting inspired from that stuff. We need it. You need it. Come with the backlash and whatnot, but we need to be doing that and start having those conversations. I
remember seeing this man, I think it was on Facebook when I was still there about 4 years ago. And this dude, I think, is an American football player. He's huge. And he's sitting with his daughter in the car, and the daughter wants to cry about something. Oh, Dad! And he keeps saying to her, like, wait, hold on. Why are you crying? And then, oh, Dad, but I'm mad at Mom. But, okay, but what makes you cry right now? Let's just be quiet and just talk to me. And eventually the direction of the conversation ended up with the little girl, feeling confident that she could talk to her father without sulking, and there was an embracing and a hug and a reminder that I love you. You must know that you are never alone. And that inspired me. Before I even had my daughter's 2 years old now. But when I always remember that guy, that guy, and you know, he made me understand what a relationship of love is supposed to be like. And for me, I don't care who says what, that I'm supposed to not be celebrated or whatever. That dude inspired me, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And if I want to post, I'll post.
The way that I look at it, gents, is like our parents used to carry wallets and stuff, you know. So there'd be a picture of the kids. So mabashanga entradini.
Sure.
Look at my
yeah.
kid. You know what I mean? So those are the days before we had like social media and stuff. So if I'm with my kid, so my movie. Spider-Man poster at the back. If I'm taking that picture and showing I'm just posting it. Is there something wrong in that? I don't carry wallets and whatnot. I don't
It's
know.
a celebration of
It's
a moment
celebration.
in time.
I'm enjoying the time that I'm spending with my son. What's wrong with that, bro? And people shouldn't just must be like, yeah, you're busy posting that. The backlash that comes with it comes with it. But yeah, like I said, our parents used to carry wallets and purses. And every time I got oh, let me show you my kid. This is what he's like, is this age or whatnot. And this, you know what I mean? It's just that, bro. And we are proud dads. We are proud of our kids. And social media is where a lot of people say post just to show what we're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
So, next year. So, when it comes to maternity, right? Is it paternity? Paternity for us. No?
Yeah,
It's paternity for the guys. I'm not a kid. I'm not a father yet. I don't have a kid yet. I don't have a kid yet.
For women is
Maternity.
Oh, yes.
For pa
It's paternity. Oh, ma pa.
Ma pa.
So, we did a bit of research and we actually found out, guys, I'm a timer actually only get like 10 days. Paternity
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Almost 2
2
weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Abo Mama get about 3 months, 4 months?
No, it depends on the company.
Company,
but,
but
Oh, it
it's like
depends on the
somewhere,
company.
yeah,
4
somewhere
months.
between
Between 3 and 4 months.
My wife got 6 months.
Oh, 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, but she wasn't paid after the 3rd month.
Oh, okay.
But she
cool.
chose to. She opted
Yeah.
to stay with the
Yeah.
child.
Because I think
because-
government-wise, and all of that stuff, it might be 3 months.
Yeah.
And there's a deal that you'll be made with the company that they're paying half of it, half of your salary. You might
Yeah.
need to get Department of Labor involved. It's a whole lot of stuff.
That's crazy.
These are
Yeah.
fathers schooling us. So the connection with the child, right, will definitely be deeper with the mom because she's there from day one and for the next 3, 5, 6 months, as Putles said. And for the out, it's 2 weeks. And we felt Notabella, that's not enough or not fair on the father or the child, So how do you guys feel about the 10 days? Would you like it to be more? And if more, what would you practically be doing to be a part of that first few weeks, months in your child's life?
I only had 3 days, bro.
Yeah, the 2 weeks things got signed off last year
That's
actually.
just- that's recent stuff. So I had 3 days. Yeah, so it's one of those. She calls, what do you need? I quickly run to the shops. You know what I mean? Make sure she's comfortable. The kid is comfortable. Just checking up and spending time. Yeah, but it was just 3 days for me. So
And you were happy with that?
at the time, I was not thinking about that. I'm thinking about other things. I'm just excited. I'm a new dad.
And you're saying recent? How recent is this?
Yo, my kid is 9 now.
I told you this.
That's a long time ago.
Okay.
So I think I had him, 2010.
Yeah.
Being celebrity World Cup. So there's that as well. Yeah, there's that as well. So yeah, I had 3 days. So it was not long enough, but the 3 days had to count, Make sure the mom is comfortable. Whatever she needs, go get it and stuff, yeah.
I think that's the general narrative. Ukuthi Itima is supposed to be the provider who walks out, goes hunting, comes back with the bacon, comes put it on the table. We have a meal. We have 5 minutes with one another and sit down and we go to sleep and we never really get to bond. I'm not in that school of thought. I think that because I follow what God says I am in a relationship structure. And God says that I am to love my wife. That's what he says, love your wife. Husbands, love your wives and submit one to another. And for me, I actually find that in my relationship with Songamele, I'm learning to love my wife by allowing her to show me how to love. Because my wife already comes with a frame of reference, a whole history. It's not easy for an adult to be receptive to love. And so it becomes very difficult for me to learn about love. This one, everything I give, she takes. Daddy, Papa, everything, you know. So it's easy for me to learn how to love. And so I find that my situation is contrary to what you said, that the bonding is going to be more with the mother than it is with, even though Songamele was on the nurse until she was 2, but still she sees her mom as food and her father as her friend. That's how it happened, because I made a conscious decision that I was going to be there for every single moment. When she starts to say a word, I will know what word it was, what time it was, what influenced her speaking. When she's sad and she gets a scratch, I'm going to be there. And it's different for me because I work from home or I'm able to be close by. But I shaped my life around my desire to be the kind of a particular man in the family. So I'm not driven by a career. You know, it's easier for us who work for ourselves to make those kinds of decisions, you know. So I suppose it's a give and take. It's a give or take. It's not the same thing for everyone. Depends on what you've decided.
That's really deep, man. Yeah, super deep. I actually had zero time because that happened and I was back at work.
What would turn this band, Dave?
No, well, I guess it's one of those things, and
This guy loves work, man.
No, and again, you're right. It's work, but it's not necessarily me. It's the work that we are in. You know what I mean? It's like the media game has certain limitations and
deadlines,
rules.
Baba, you can't miss
You know what I'm saying? And then even when you're taking leave and all of that stuff, it's not that work where people will go, I'm gone for a whole month. You know what I mean? Like it's minimum 7 days, max by push 10 days. That's as far as you can be able to stay away from like a certain project and whatever. You know what I mean? But like touching on this, and I'm thinking about it, if you probably go back and check who came up with that 3-month or 4-month rule or 2 weeks or 10 days for guys, those are probably rules that were written like a while back.
1900.
You know what I'm saying? And with so much that, I mean, that's changed and where we are as a country and all of that, and I don't see any of the ministers anytime soon going back and go, hang on, let's hold up on that act that has to do with that Ebola situation or whatever. Let's touch on paternity and maternity. You know what I mean? It's up to platforms like this. It's up to fathers that are taking that role. You know what I mean? To go, guys, what are we doing to address these certain things? Because we all know the hierarchy. Somewhere up there, there's dudes that are sitting there that could be going through the same thing as dads, but they're not even challenging the status quo. They're just going, it's the rules, it's how they are. But I'm looking at it in a sense that we need to go and revisit some of these things. You know what I'm saying? And like you're saying, like wifey will be home for like 3 months, and then after that, financially is not getting backed by work. It's like an optional thing. It's kind of like we need to go and interrogate and be like, cool, how does this make sense? And not even just have it as a blanket rule. Have it by industry now, guys. You get what I mean? And look at industry by industry and look at what it is, because those are the same situation. If you're gonna be going out with someone that's high, climbing the corporate ladder, you're gonna be at a point where they're like, I can't have a baby. Because if I have a baby, it means I need to be away for like 3 to 4 months. I'm gonna miss up on opportunities, be it promotion, be it whatever. I'm not gonna be seen as an equal at work because I'm gonna need to go do motherly things. So it's a bit tricky. And you know what I mean? And so I think it's at a point where we need to somehow as a bigger forum challenge.
Do something to create the right environment for us to parent properly.
No, that's actually you went ahead of us, James. But maybe let me just backtrack, Ganani. I like these conversations because that means that parenting for fathers is shifting, you know. And research shows that I think this was an American research. I don't know here in Africa, you know, but a lot of fathers in America are redefining what fathering or parenting means for them, because I know most of our fathers, if you were to ask your dad, what does it mean for you to be a father, your dad will first say, you eating, right? You know, you know, I'm providing, right? You wearing clothes, right?
As if he's there.
You know. So do you think in our time it's important to encourage this shifting in fathering and start focusing more on caregiving as fathers, emotional connections, And I think we've had this conversation before that your father can be there, present financially, but be there absent emotionally. You know. So do you think Steves, I know you? But do you think it's very important to start considering that shift as Africans? You know.
I mean, dog.
Just to add.
Yeah.
Stay-at-home fathers as well. Maybe
yeah.
add that.
I mean, geez, the guys that are sitting on this couch right now, I think they're probably doing the best that they can do to be great dads, right?
Yeah.
And then my next question is, we've got friends, we've got cousins, we've got whatevers that dudes will go out there and have a child, and it's like they're not living up to them being parents. It starts with conversations like that, and Les calling out one of his homies and say, dog, you had a child, are you being there? You know what I'm saying? Because now you're gonna go research says, which is American vibe. There's stuff that's happening with us now as Abu Taki
in the nuclear.
That you gonna have your homie that's got a child, but you know your homie's not playing his part. Your homie rather be turning up and be like, yo, dog, this girl is nagging me over pop health. but it's
why is it even there? Why are we even talking pop health? You should have been there in the beginning.
Exactly. Whatever the circumstance is, the relationship is. Because sometimes you get the thing of dudes will go, I'm paying pop health, so I don't need to be there.
Sure.
Because me and my old lady are clashing. You know, and if we're not going, yo, dog, you're missing out and stuff. And back to the pictures that people are talking about that are being posted, that are big, you need to sort of install that thing of, do you realize how big this thing is? You having a child, you having bonding, those moments that you're missing out on. I get the bigger picture of trying to try and have it in a box and say this is what it needs to be. But those are conversations that we need to be having as I'm out. To be like, yo, dog, it's manning up. You know what I mean? Because we still have that thing of, cool, the elders will go talk and then they come back and they're like, you paying damage or you paying lobola, and you're like, it's like spin the bottle, and you go, nah, I don't vibe with her anymore, I'm gonna pay damages, and then you pay damages and it's done. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yo,
it's like limited accountability.
You get what I'm saying? And it shouldn't, people stop there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 3 months later, they'll go drop off, whatever. There's moments that are there, brother. That bonding. There's moments that build you differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what peeves me? What peeves me is the social construct, Yoguti. We can laugh about anything and everything. There's nothing wrong with laughing, but if like we're going to see a lot of memes and messages that say Jub is coming to Durban, July, everyone run. We're actually saying we know that there's something wrong. Run. We're not addressing the problem like Debs is talking about. We need to come and to come together. Listen, gents, let's stop talking about soccer and Jub only. Let's talk about what is the real thing. These children are growing up without fathers raising them. That is why we have criminals. That is why we have women being raped by men that they trust, because the men who bore these children don't come and show up. This is my seed. How can I take a seed out of the very inner part of me and throw it into an egg and it forms into a human being? And then I think, no, Bengdala. You can't be playing with something like this. This is life. It's eternal. You know, there are certain things that we've got to understand. They are fundamental and they are crucial for mankind. Whether we are black, white, purple or yellow, we need to start thinking about the things that we are doing, the consequences of our actions, especially as men, because we are the priests of our homes. And we've got to say, listen, the generation that is going to come after me will not do the mistakes of the generation before me. I'm not going to have anyone in my circle who's not going to parent their father, their child. I'm not going to be quiet when I see something wrong happening. And whether I'm posting it or not, that's not the priority for me. The priority is let's change things and make them right. And if it takes posting, that's what I'm doing. I'm not a Dadfluencer. I'm just a person who lives.
Amen.
Hey, I'm a chance for deep, chance.
Yeah.
They went in, you know. the other day, like, you know, when I was talking to somebody, it's sad to see ukuthi manje nekela schools actually they kind of pushing for dads to come and take part in their kids' lives. You know what I mean? Like whether it be picnic day, like father and son picnic or stuff like that. So it's sad to see that certain things are happening in that sense, and people are not taking that responsibility to go spend time with their kids. You know what I mean? Like we have to depend on ikela all of a sudden to say to be a father. That's something wrong, and I think amachita are very selfish sometimes. And siyakhona ukuthi let's go to your pose, let's go drinking and stuff. But I can't say to Spuda, hey, bring your kid, I bring my kid, let's go watch a movie. Women can go and organize themselves and go out and chill and hang out with the kids. But as men, we cannot do that. Because it's one of those things like, as a man, I need to go do my own thing as Saitini. Then we'll meet up later as a machita, as long as it's potty. Siapsha, everything is nice. Yet you don't know what happened to your kid that same day. You don't know what's going on in your kid's life. So we need to think about such things as well, you know. Say, just to go drink.
Yeah.
Let's go to our picnics and stuff.
And be divided when it comes to parenting and united when it comes to sports and whatever.
And stuff.
Like,
Priorities are wrong.
Yeah, I'm like part of maybe if not 20 WhatsApp groups of about random stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's highlights of Devin July, like it's soccer, it's this. And only, I kid you not, it's probably less than a month. I got invited to a group by a homie of mine, Musito and Lebo. The group is called Dope Black Dads.
Oh, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, I was like, okay, cool. You know, like it's another group. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then within 30 seconds, they're hitting me up on some, this is what this group aims to do.
Then
after that, it's
a brief.
Yeah, it's send who you are, what you vibe with, your kid's name or whatever, how many kids that you have. And then it's like I'm responding. And I'm like, an influx now. Everybody's coming. Before the night was done, I think I was sitting at like maybe 150 messages of dudes going there.
And you're still interested.
Yeah, and I'm interested. And then after that, it's like post pictures of your kids. And dudes are there. Do you know what I'm saying? And this past week, Level, I think he was like, he's got this, I don't know what they call them. It's like a little thing where you put your kid in the front.
It's a pouch.
Pouch. And he's like, yo guys, I don't mean to be an asshole, but I feel weird when people come and touch my kid. And I don't want to be the guy also that's telling people not to touch my kid because they're showing affection. It's like you come, bingy, you play with the kid. You know what I mean? And he says, maybe because I'm a germaphobe or whatever the story may be, but he's like, I'm not sure how to feel. And then, dog, that's us jumping in now and going, yo, I've seen similar instances. It's cool, dog. It's not that much of a thing. Depends how and all of that. And then those conversations go from random stuff like that to one of the dudes was saying, my kid just got born. The kid, I think, has a lip condition.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know.
What's it called? Class place.
Something.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm worried about the future of the child and all of that. Level literally dropped. I think he shot something about that. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, you can go get the op and whatever. Don't overthink it and blah, blah. And I'm like,
Father.
Yeah, if we're not united, this dude could be pulling his hair, Googling stuff, not knowing, and finding research from the States. And it's like this and that. But it's those conversations in there. And I'm like, we getting somewhere. For me, that was like the best group ever.
Can you share the model with other dudes?
Yeah.
Because it has to be shared. This is the kind of thing.
You know
if
what
you
I mean?
gave it to me, then I'll share it with my people and let's pay it forward.
Aware. Yeah.
Hey. So, brothers, I think you touched a bit on work policies and how each industry should at least try to tailor-make the paternity situation. How did you, all three of you, deal with you guys being providers, of course, and at this time you guys are the ones in the forefront of trying to provide for your children most of the time. I don't know with Les, but just explain he's at home most of the time. How do you think we should change these policies or change how we're spanning? How do I go to work and be able to be at home for my child and how do I balance that out so that I don't miss out on important times of my child, especially if like that corporate setup is very hard. As a creative, at least you can sort of maneuver it, but how do we then challenge that, or how do we change it, how do we improve it?
Personally, right?
Yeah.
I'm co-parenting, so I only get to see my son like weekends, holidays and stuff. So my thing is I try and spend as enough time with him as I can, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like on my weekends, Jack Pell and whatnot. So it's whatever little time I have, I can spend with him. Like I'm there, dog. It shouldn't be, hey, come see your kid. Ndanako needs to go wherever. Are you available or not? If I can take him to school for book picnic, they have that. Can I please take him? I don't like picnics. No, it's things that I hate. It's not that I like picnics, but
He's doing it for his son.
I'm doing it for my kid. Dude, I don't like reading, you know what I mean? But this book picnics is scary. So can I please take him? You know what I mean? Because I'm working Monday to Friday. My kid is taking care of him Monday to Friday. I only see him on my weekend. So if I don't have enough time, can I take him to school? Can I do this? Can I do that? So that's the way that I can get to be in his life. Because if I don't do it, he's going to call me a part-time dad one day, you know? And that is not what I want for my kid. That is not what I want for myself. Yeah.
And the weird thing is that me and my dad, when he introduces me, when I was younger, he would introduce me, hey, this is my son, and he would be proud as Podine. When I went to see him, and I'd find him as Podine, and all he would be able to know about me is that I'm his son. So he would like brag to his friends, this is my son, this is his name. And that's pretty much it. Now, after having rekindled our relationship, when he introduces me to people, he says, this is my father, I'm his son. He calls me his father and I'm his son. I have flipped the script. I have fixed his mistakes. I have protected him from the shame that he has brought my family. And I have come back to him and I've said, despite yourself, I love you. You're allowed to make mistakes, but I'm not going to make those mistakes. I'm going to stay close to you though, so I can learn. So I don't have a model of what I'm looking at that's been done before. I don't know how to love my wife right. I don't know how to treat my wife right. I don't know what to even expect from my wife because I didn't see it modeled in my own life. But I'm not going to have my daughter go through the same thing. So what I do now, to respond to your question, is that I make sure, as a rule of thumb, when she comes back from school, her mom picks her up. That's when they bond. When she comes back from school, she will find me sitting on the same spot. And she can, when she opens the door, she, Daddy! She knows she will always find me there. And I will spend time with her. I'll drop everything that I do. And I will spend, even if it's half an hour, touch, hug. She must feel my heartbeat. She must hear my voice. I will listen to her. I will ask her, how was your day? What did you learn today? So those are things that I do. And every morning when she wakes up, she will wake up and I will make sure that I come. I give her eye contact. How did you sleep? Did you sleep well? I slept well, Daddy. What did you dream? She doesn't know how to dream yet. But these are like little moments that make the relationship sincere and authentic. And that's all we need. We don't really need to buy things.
Yeah.
Just be there. No. Yeah.
I mean, me and you are probably on the same WhatsApp group because I'm co-parenting. And like to your point, Les, for me, it was a thing of there is no frame of reference. Because, I mean, when I had to look around from my friends and all of that stuff, it's those cases that I just mentioned of dudes had kids, but they're not there. And then this is happening with me, and I'm not even with this person at that time. You know, now I need to figure out how to find balance, not overstep, and still be there for my kid. You know, and you start coming up with stuff, you know what I mean? And with the line of work that I'm in also, it's like there's no knock-off time. You're like freaking dog. You're always just going and going and going and going. And then you get caught out by guilt and going, geez, I haven't seen this person. I haven't done this. You know what I mean? And sooner or later, dog, I'm like, kid is like 3 years. You know what I mean? Sure, you would have been there, done shopping, whatever, you pick it up, you go to the mall, but it's like you start having conversations. You know what I'm saying? I'm start being cognizant of when I'm driving with her, like I'll spend the whole week when I know I'm gonna spend time with her looking through playlists of music that is clean.
Because she's gonna be in the car.
Yeah.
You like your hip hop.
You know what I'm saying? And the only time then the way you find clean stuff, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
Like you find like radio edits or whatever, and I put that stuff because she's around people that play that music. But it's now you start communicating. You're seeing rear view mirror interactions of when this song comes on, she responds and all of that stuff, and she knows now the words not to say, and then you start being there, you know. And for me to literally monitor and police myself, the same way on my phone I would set up meetings and whatnot, I would set up a reminder that by this time she's back from school.
Sure.
Give her a call, you know what I mean? And then it was a time that she was still young, she didn't have a phone. You know what I mean? You need to go through the moms, and I'll give props to the moms because beyond the BS of trying to figure it out for the early years, we started treating this child as in like, you know what, this is the center of everything. If whatever issues and whatever ego aside, I need to calm down. I need to find peace for the sake of this vibe. And I work in production, dog. You can't drop the ball. You always gotta be 2 steps ahead. You make sure there's no black on air. You're on time, you in out, and I'm like, that's how I'm gonna treat this thing.
Yes.
Before winter time comes and you start having weird conversations about the child doesn't have jerseys and tracksuits and blah blah. I'm like, dog, I'm gonna literally checkmate you 2 months before. There you are. It's a production, so that I'm eliminating that thing of when the mother needs to pick up the phone. It's a demand conversation.
Yeah. And it doesn't end well.
It doesn't end well, and which is the nagging factor, where you stop talking to things. By the time when they nag you with the tracksuits and the random aftercare money and blah blah blah, you don't even want to talk to the kid.
You don't even call the mother.
No, you screwed.
Speak to the kid.
Have you seen the video? Hey, mntana ufuna imali yovula fridge.
You know what I'm saying? And then by then I'm not having conversations with my dudes because my dudes are not living up to what they need to be doing. You get what I'm saying? So you start modeling it, and that's why I brought it back into my production world and going, this is what I see. You schedule stuff in. When holidays are coming, you're literally looking at calendars at malls. Are they having Paw Patrol at Sunten and they're having Dora the Explorer at Eastgate? You need to be figuring out and moving and doing all these things. You know what I mean? And when my kid, I think she was like 10, and she's like, oh, I want a cell phone. I was freaking out. I was like, not sure. But it's the best thing that happened, gents. That WhatsApp conversation, because it's random things. It's like, how was homework? There's voice notes. There's a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell. You start communicate and get married. You need to be there. You need to start having those convos. It's not like you're gonna talk soccer with her. I need to figure out stuff that makes it tick as a gal.
What she likes.
What is she vibing with? Because she's at that age where you're like, yo, there's Nick Fest, there's Disney on Ice. She's like, nah, dog. Nah, dog. She's like, I don't know about that vibe. You know what I mean? You start figuring out other stuff that she digs. You know, but it's like, I mean, Les, you parenting, but it's like me knowing that, yo, now after this today, I can pick up the phone and be like, yo, Donna, what's the vibe? Are you seeing this? Because you're still on the Disney on Ice page.
Yes, I'm right there,
that's you. Like we need to be at that level, though. The same way we care about soccer and all this other random stuff that's not even benefiting us. We need to be at this thing and figuring out and rewriting rules. Because the rule that we grew up in, it's like you can make a baby, it's not a big deal. You can go make another baby, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Hey.
We need to hold each other accountable. Because our uncles are not coming for us. They're not. They're dealing with their own stuff, alcohol abusing and all of that stuff. They're not trying to be like, yo, are you spending time with Mose? Are you doing? It's up to us. And then to your point, Duana, of saying we need to be going, yo, you saw that Spider-Man is dropping. When are you going with the little man to go check it out? And I'm like, I'm thinking, let's all get together. You know, and zap sign to everybody that's gonna have an issue about us posting with popcorns with a Spider-Man poster in the back. Because it's really that. You're encouraging that ish. That's what we need to be doing.
Misuti, gents.
Yeah, this is suit. You know, I like this because many of the times narratives are changed through dialogue. You know this, brother. As you're an advocate, you're a facilitator for male dialogues and everything around that. So hearing you guys speak like this, we've never had our dads speak like this. Because fathering in this sense has never been central to the male identity, you know. So I think it's very important to emphasize to the ladies out there, whatever it is that the modern day father is doing is not in comparison to the women. We're not competing, you know. So I think that's where the backlash is coming from. Yo, why are you giving them props when we've been doing it for the longest time?
We 24/7.
Shows up. No one shows up.
I'm proud enough to go. Yo, my baby mama is rocking it. She's doing what my kid is normal. You know what I mean? The homeworks and everything, stuff is ticked. Boxes are ticked. I got it. Like it starts there. I can post and do whatever with my kid, but I'll start by going, yo, I see you and acknowledge it, and I got respect for you. As long as you bring the respect back, it's gonna go back and forth, and I'll always hold the higher ground of I'll go for peace any day, because my kid is the center of my universe right now.
You know, the thing that I'm picking up is there's a word called binaries, which is really in philosophy the idea that for one thing to exist on the one end, there's got to be the opposite. So whatever happens in the middle has got to either go to the right or to the left. Nothing can be in the middle. It's binaries. And binaries are dangerous when we are growing as a society. For instance, if you look at, take a girl child to work day, you can't fix imbalances of the past by creating new imbalances. You're saying children who are girls in the past did not have enough opportunities. So what we're going to do is we're going to take every girl and we're going to expose them to the work environment. They're going to become the future CEOs, but we're going to leave the boy out. Right? So what you're doing is that in the next 20 years, you have to start dealing with that boy who was closed out. And now, like Utebza was saying, that there are certain things that we are not having access to fix in terms of legislation and whatnot, but we can change the environment that we're in. Songamele is a girl, but she's learning every day that she is no better than a boy. Her only competition is herself, and the only person that is going to make her better in life is herself. I'm not going to make it to create opportunities for her. And the boys that I teach at children's church, at Sunday school, they know that they have to work for themselves. The girls know they have to work for themselves. No one is going, they can't trust a social system because they will always be reactive to what is happening. But if you are saying think in a certain way, they are going to be proactive. They will do what they want. Whether they want to go to work day or they don't, it will be a choice that they're making, but they know the consequences of it.
Dalias is dropping knowledge.
You good?
I'm good.
All right, that was episode 7, fire episode 7. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Dad influences. My dog.
Not even.
Not even.
But you influence in your pockets of circles,
Absolutely,
your peeps there.
Yeah.
I think Debza put it nicely there. It's all about the seed, the motive. If people choose to see it in another way, it's for them.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
influencing other people, then it's working.
So.
Yeah, where can people what do they normally say, Debza? These shows that you produce.
Where can they catch you in the social streets?
Where can they catch you? You have you guys on
I'm on Instagram, I_NV Clipito33, that's me.
Yeah.
I am nowhere.
On WhatsApp.
I'm on WhatsApp. 082. I'm old school. And the rest, just look for me. Look, Les Nkosi, LES Nkosi. You'll probably find lesnkosi.com. Or look Lesley Nkosi, LEYLESLEY.
Or watch TV, you'll see them in the ads. A lot of
ads. Sometimes I'm crying.
But you're on TBN now. You're still on TBN.
Yeah, TBN Africa. Yeah, we're doing a talk show with Ayanda Ali Payne there on relationships with God.
Okay, Steve.
Dope.
I'm not on social media like that, So.
Thanks, dog.
I'm just on WhatsApp as well, but that's just about it.
Yeah, let's get on those groups with dope black dads, man. Let's try and do
dope black dads. I like it.
Dope black dads. We're not dads. But man, we've got the business the model.
Not that
everything's all business now.
Not that you know of.
And that's it from YDS. You don't say outside shows Palo. Catch us on the socials. It's you don't say _TS. We're out. That's a wrap.